computer. Oh, I pressed the record button and then forgot I was recording. Hi, everybody. It's Kelly from the Hub here today with our friend Jim from Bergstrasse. How are you?
Oh my God. I just realized I don't have my official attire on.
Right. See, you were all discombobulated this morning. I know.
Oh, we are. Oh, we are.
Oh, okay. So everybody's like, wait, you always talk about the geography. What the heck is going on with your geography? I'm at the community commons. I'm at the Hub because I'm meeting someone in a little bit this morning, and it would be easier if I just was here rather than have to drive in and da, 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 da. So Pastor Jim was like, you're the one who always hates the geography. And so he adjusted a little so that he could have his change.
Just move my chair.
Right. So yeah. So this morning, well, you're going to see this at night, of course. We talk about that every time. It's funny because how much laughing I just did is the most laughing I've done in a couple of bits because my anger is high. So, and and it's hard to talk about, right? Because not everybody gets angry at the same things. But I'm angry about stuff I absolutely cannot control. I'm angry about world events. I'm angry about national events. I'm angry about other things that I can't control. And it's making me super unattractive. Like, I'm barking at my husband, I'm barking at my dog, which is funny, but that's, I didn't mean it that way. But I'm not being...
The dog don't bark back.
I know.
The dog bark back.
I know. I barked it. I was like, what are you doing this morning? And she looked at me like, Mom, I just want to go outside. And I'm like, well, hurry up. I mean, I was like, oh, it was not good. So I'm angry. And intellectually, I know that these are things that I cannot control. I have no control over what happens in all of these, literally no control. I want to have control, but I don't. But I can't, I know, shock. But it doesn't take away my anger. So intellectually, I understand the concept, but I don't know what to do about it on the emotional level. And I'm not trying to, I guess I am. I guess we're having a therapy session, but we're not though, because we all get into that same position, right? Where we're angry, we don't know what to do, and then we just lash out. So he pre-told me why I'm angry, so he's now going to tell you why I'm angry, and it'll be helpful. And then we're going to fight about it, because I'm so angry. Okay, tell me.
So first of all, Kelly, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to breathe.
I know.
Take those cleansing breaths. I mean, believe it or not, this is something that I do when I open up worship.
Yeah.
We take a cleansing breath because it's just a time to come in, and we think that's, oh, I don't want to do that. But it really is amazing how quickly things can change when we just take a breath and center ourselves where we are. So, and the other thing too is, it's not the anger that upsets you. Anger is your response, is our response to stuff.
Yeah.
But being angry is a normal response. It's how do we control our anger, or how do we control our responses to situations around us?
Right. And
true to form, I mean, one of the things I said to you earlier, I said, so, what angers you? It's the different stuff. And when you talk about wanting to be in control, oh my gosh, Kelly, everybody wants to be in control.
Right.
I want to be in control. And and to being able to find that place in our lives and with the other people that we're involved with, situations that are in our own personal lives, in our work lives, in our other social gathering lives. What are the things that I can control and what are the things that I can't? And to be able to learn to let go of stuff. Be learning to let go, and it is hard. I can't take that away from you.
Well, and you know what? Like, I realized I needed to let it go, and so I thought I was gonna like make myself giggle a little bit, and I was gonna sing the song from Frozen, and then I got angry because see, it was that bad. Because normally I would be like, let it go, and I would, you know, I would giggle about it and then get over myself, and nope, I need a level.
Oftentimes there are so many other things that are behind our response that we often don't know what they are.
Yeah.
So I think this is the one that you were talking about that I said for you that is just sort of like, the thing is that, so as Kelly admitted from the very beginning, she is in a new place today.
Right.
She is in a new place. And I'm not, it's not right, it's not wrong. She's in a new place today.
Yeah.
It's the same Kelly.
Yeah.
However, though, there's a little bit of difference there. I'm feeling odd even just moving my chair a little bit.
I know.
Because there's a window behind me that I'm trying to cover. But this idea is, and we notice those kind of things, and they really have an effect on the deeper meaning of where we're at and what's going on. And it's, you know, I think the thing, Kelly, is that, you know, I need to say too, is just because I usually wear this collar and all of that doesn't mean that I have all the answers.
I know.
But I think, I do not have all the answers. In fact, I have no answers.
I know. And you know what? And I think that's also part of it for me is that, like, I'm like, well, so you're my friend and you're a pastor, so therefore you get to win. And so then just tell me. And then it'll be easier because you can just tell me. Right. And so, but I mean, I think that I'm not the only one who's like, your pastor knows, or your whatever, whoever your person is. It doesn't have to be your pastor, but whatever, like, you know, they know. So just have them tell you, have them be the boss of you, and then it'll be easier for you.
We want the answer. And do you know what the answer is?
What?
Most of the time, the answer is that we need to be willing to share what's really on our mind.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think that we forget to do that because it's so much easier. It's so much easier for me to hold it in and not tell anybody. Dang it.
Right. And then
because,
just,
you know,
angry.
Then I can still be angry, you know, and I don't have to figure it out. And
right.
And I think that's one of the things that always seems to gets us in trouble. It's gotten me in trouble numerous times in my life, where we're afraid to say exactly what we experience.
Yeah.
For feel that it's going to hurt somebody else. And the thing is, you know, that works two ways.
Right.
You know, I may be afraid to say what I need to say, but you may also be afraid to say what you need to say for me to hear, because too often we set ourselves apart from one another without knowing why.
Yeah. Right. And so there's this big unspokenness.
Right. We set ourselves apart for no apparent deep understanding. It's just so much easier to say, well, you're wrong. No, it's a different understanding. It's a different understanding. And can we accomplish together what we need to accomplish? And are we accomplishing things for my benefit or your benefit? Or is it a greater benefit? And I think what happens, and you know, at least my experience in most of the world in recent years, and I'm going to say decades, is that we've allowed a type of attitude or understanding where, you know, I matter, and excuse this, but to hell with you.
Yeah, I think that's what
it's
it
all
is.
about what I,
yeah,
and it's all about what I want and what I think I need.
Right.
Because I've got to be over you. I've
Right.
got to have power over you.
Right. That entitlement of betterness. Yeah. Yeah. Right. And it's that thing. It's that I get that intellectually. I know that I have to work on the anger part. Like, why am I letting that get to me? Right?
Or maybe it's not the anger part, maybe it's the deeper thing, a deeper understanding of how you respond to something, or what's going on with it, and to think it through. The intellectual part is honestly the easy part.
Yeah.
The intellectual part is the easy part.
Isn't that weird? Because I think for other people, they might not think that. They would think that the emotional part is the easy part, but it isn't. The intellectual part is easy. Like, you know why you're doing it, but here you go. You're still doing it. Yeah.
The emotional part is the tough one, because it means I have to look at myself.
Yeah.
It's about how I respond. It's not about you.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that we're at right now, is that maybe we've lost track of who we are. And that losing track of who we are could be an individual thing. You know, maybe we don't know who I am. You know, I'll be honest, you know, previous sessions, you know, I've been in therapy and have different people that help me, and stuff that I talk through with people, including Kelly. But it helps to shape how I respond in an emotional way.
Yeah.
In a healthy way. And do I always get my way?
Right. Well, and it would probably be bad if you did. I mean, you know, I would love it. You know,
and there are so many other examples in my life too, where, you know, I wished I would have had this or that would have happened or whatever, and realized, you know, that with my hindsight, with 2020 hindsight, I can realize, oh yeah, no, that wouldn't have worked out at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So the big part of all of this conversation, Kelly, is that people, and I'm not necessarily talking about individual people, but people as collective groups, and how do we work together, is, I think, is challenging in these times, because too often I think we've over the ages.
Yeah.
And this is not something that just happened today.
Right. I think the pandemic has made it worse.
Yes.
Yeah. It's made it, I think it's brought out some stuff that probably would have taken years or decades to come out.
Or never come out.
Or never. That's true. Or never. That's true.
But you are absolutely right. The pandemic just raises that anxiety, because, and the thing is about the pandemic, it's affecting everybody. Right.
Right. Whether you say it is or not.
There isn't a single person on this earth who has not been affected by the pandemic.
Right. Right.
It may not have hit you personally, directly, me, physically, but it has certainly hit many people that I know.
Yeah.
And how do we respond to it?
Right.
You know, and our responses have been all across the board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our responses, and not just you and I and our viewers, but as a family, as a community, as a state, as a nation, as a part of the global community, our responses to all of that are across the board.
Right. Right. I mean,
And
there's people who are so traumatized by what has happened in their lives. And there are people who are so traumatized but are hiding their trauma. And right, all of that. Right. And people who, right. Yeah. Yeah.
and the thing is, we're coming up on a 1-year anniversary of living with this.
I know, that's weird. It's weird because, I mean, I think that almost everybody would agree that it simultaneously feels like it's the longest year of time and also like it was yesterday. I mean, maybe that's what trauma does to you. Because that's what this is. And it's weird because I don't know, I guess you do you get a little bit more perspective the longer you're in something, but you're right. Like
oh yeah.
We're making all the same, like we're doing all the same things in the universe, having jobs, moving, getting married, having babies, having elections, whatever, building buildings, starting a business, but we're doing it under trauma situations, which might not be good. Like, we might not be making the best decisions because I'm not saying we're not making good decisions, but it's an interesting layer to now put on top of all of that.
Yeah.
And that you're right. And that anger is one of those things, as well as a lot of other ways to see it.
Anger is one of our responses.
Yeah.
Anger is one of our responses because we don't know what to do with the trauma that is affecting us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We think it's X, Y, or Z, but a lot of it is the fact of this trauma that's just sort of has infected each of us.
Yeah.
And has infected us differently.
Yeah. Right. Because it's interesting because I've talked to a lot of people in this medium about trauma, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's like when you were a kid and you got spanked. And, and that's, that is one example of a ginormous way that trauma can manifest itself. You're right. And then how does long-term trauma work? So here's the thing. It looks like I need to do a little bit of reading. That may help. That may help walk through the intellectualization of it to then help with the emotional part of it too.
Do some reading and continue your conversations with friends and colleagues you trust.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and sometimes, and this is hard. We quickly want to go to people that we know that will think like us.
Well, duh.
Sorry to put that in there. Yeah. I want people to lift me up. Of course you do. Of course I do.
Right.
But I think it's also a benefit for us if we can say to someone else that we may not agree with. So tell me how you arrived at that place. Not that I'm trying to put myself over, or to be submitted to what someone else might be saying, but
share
tell me how you got. Yeah, share it with me. Tell me how you're. And I'll tell you what, I bet that most of us don't know how to do that.
Because it's ginormously uncomfortable.
Yes. It'll be easy to get angry.
Yeah. All right, so that's my
Anger's
homework.
the easy way out. Anger's the easy way out.
So that's my homework, and I will report on it next week.
Okay.
Because
Kelly.
I think that's important.
Kelly.
What?
You're not alone.
Yep.
So thanks for being brave to even talk about that.
Well, and I know I'm not alone. I don't want other people. Okay, it feels like I'm doing this for myself, but I'm not. I really want this to be like, dude, we're in the same boat. And if I can help you because I chatted about it, then that's the most important thing.
Amen. Amen.
Right.
And that's one of the things that maybe we can help our viewers to see that, these important things are things to talk about. They're not just to slip under the bed or, and just forget about it.
I'm okay. Because we're doing that too, right? Because we don't want to burden other people. So we're doing that. No, I'm okay. No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's my homework. Hey, thanks, person. Thanks, Fred. Cross my fingers. Next week I'll be back to my same geography. Maybe that'll help. Maybe.
Maybe we should try new geography every week and to help us to train us out of this.
I don't know if I can. All right. See you, everybody. Bye.
See you, friends. Bye.